Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Straight from the Source. We'll start very soon. We'll just wait for more of you to join us. If you're here on the stream, drop a message on the chat just so I know you're here. Okay, excellent. I see a couple of you here. So let's get started. I hope you can hear me all loud and clear. Cool. So for those of you that are here, Straight from the Source is a new series that we've started. Today is our second episode. Last week was a great success. A lot of you joined us on our live stream on Muse. This time we decided to do it on YouTube because it's just more accessible and it's just more open for all. The format of this show is that we're just going to be producing music and I'll be explaining what I'm doing while I'm producing. It's as simple as that. Okay, so here we have, as you can see, a completely empty project with just some groups. We're going to start making some music now. Okay, let's get started. Start with a kick as usual. Okay, this is my go-to kick whenever I'm making techno, the kick 9091 that's built into the library. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio from Ableton as well. I'll just keep it playing. Let me know if you can hear it. Just drop a comment on the chat. Yes, awesome. Thank you. All right, so let's start processing this kick a little bit. I'll start with some saturation. Sounding good already. Let's go for some drum bass. Let's make a rumble out of this kick now. So I'm going to be making some techno today. Those of you that are here just now, we've just got started. Let's make a copy of this so we can make a little rumble out of it. I'm going to use the Convolution Reverb Pro for this one. Really like the reverbs on this. So let's get some side chaining going on with some shaper box. And let's EQ this. That sounds pretty good to me. Just going to make this rumble mono. There we go. All right, let's work on some synths. Get some movement on that filter. So I'm using a couple of filters here, as you can see. I'm using the low pass and the high pass filter both together. Let's get some more movement with some LFOs. Come back to developing this sound. For now, let's start adding some drums. So I'm gonna make a noise hi-hat using analog. Why am I not able to spell analog? I have no clue, but here we go. So I'm just gonna fire up some 16th steps and change this to a high pass filter to remove the envelope modulation and shorten the decay quite a bit on the amp. Let's try and get some movement on these hi-hats. Get some movement on the synth as well. get another hi-hat from the 909 core kit. Just a really simple closed hat like this. Maybe we'll double up the notes. Let's sidechain this sound, the square. Yeah, I like the tone better here. I've just pushed it down an octave. We can control the energy of the hats with the decay. Later on, we can probably open it up like that. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I'll be taking a break in about 15-20 minutes and I'll answer all your questions. In the meantime, just feel free to drop them all in the chat. So I want another sound that can create a call and response between the square and this new sound. So let's discover what that could be. An unfortunate thing about the stream is that I can't really show you the plugins I'm using because I'm only sharing my Ableton window and the plugin windows don't get shown that way. So I'm sorry about that, but I'm using the Valhalla vintage verb here. I'll use the parameters from here so you can also follow along with what I'm doing. This is the sound we're working on. Just adding some reverb. Let's control this sound a little bit. It's opening up a bit too much, the square sound. Just going to reduce the modulation amount here on the LFO. Let's get some open hats, but not a straight pattern. I'm going to go for something a little more subdued. Let's send that over to some echo. Let's process the low end group a bit. So there's this free plugin I've been using called Bark of Dog. It's essentially a really steep low cut that also boosts the frequencies at the same time. It's actually modeled after another plugin called Voice of God, and this is a free take on that plugin. It's called Bark of Dog. Again, it's free. Just Google it and you'll get it somewhere online. This is without the plugin. With it, it's just tightening up the low end nicely. And actually, I'm going to throw this on my master track, so everything goes through this. Let's EQ the kick. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Let's take a listen in solo. This is without. I'm just managing some of these resonances in the low mids and just giving it a bit of clarity. So let's make up for the loss of volume as well. I can add another couple of dB. Yeah, that should be good. And let's take a listen again. Off. Sounds a bit dull. Yeah, I've just boosted some highs as well along with the cuts. Okay, let's find out what the fundamental of the kick is. It's hitting around G. Just gonna detune and bring it closer. This is something I often do with kicks, tune them right. I know for a fact that G is 49 Hertz, so I'm going to set an EQ band to 49 Hertz and just do a little dip there on the rumble. This gives us some more space. I think I might cut a little bit more of the highs on the rumble. Just keep it really rumbly and deep. This way. See, let's listen to a with and without as well. Yeah, huge difference. Of course, if you're wearing headphones, you'll hear this, or if you're listening to it on good speakers. You can't really hear this on laptop speakers if you're wondering what went on there. Okay, cool. I'm happy with what we have so far. Let's add a ride. And now I can control the energy of the track with my hi-hats, opening up their decay. Yeah, let's just tone shape the hi-hats as well a little bit. So I'm working on the noise hat right now. Went from being a bit dull like this to just being a bit brighter. Okay, let's get some modulation there. 8 bar LFO, so it doesn't open up too quickly. Okay, let's move this over to the arrangement, and now I am ready to see any questions you might have. So let's get into the chat. Okay, I'm just gonna have an 8 bar loop here, and yeah, I am coming here into the chat. Okay, there's quite a few questions. I'm happy about this. So is it okay to not cut frequencies below 30 to 40 hertz in the rumble? Janardhan, I think it's better to cut those frequencies because those frequencies occupy a lot of space, and space in the low end is very crucial. So try cutting these frequencies and see if it works for you. And I would say try and cut these frequencies with something like the plugin that I showed you, Bark of Dog. Maybe not with EQ8 or Pro Q, because they tend to change the phase of the sound a bit. Okay, Jim, what is the thought process behind using square wave versus any other? Okay, great question. So see, a sine wave and a triangle wave, for example, they're very subdued because they don't have a lot of harmonics, and there are saw waves as well. But saw waves have what is called even harmonics, and square waves have what is called odd harmonics. So these odd harmonics, they give you a slightly more atonal sound, especially when you go lower in the spectrum. That's the primary reason, but I mean, it boils down to taste. End of the day, I like the tones of square waves going through filters. Yeah, Jim. So like I said earlier, not able to see the Pro Q changes on the kick because I'm only sharing my Ableton Live window. That's probably the issue. Nicola, thank you. Cool. Jim, another question. What is the importance of doing volume EQ versus spectral EQ like you did with the rumble to make space for the kick? I'm not so sure if I understand this question. But what I did there with the EQ, let me show you. So I've just done a regular EQ. It's just a little bell that I've used to just dip the frequency of the kick in the rumble. So the kick is speaking at 49 hertz, right? So if I play the kick and we just open up the spectrum, I'll just put on a spectrum on the main, make that a little larger. You can see if I measure this, it's hitting at around 50 hertz, 49 hertz, right? So now when I play the rumble and open up the spectrum, I want to make sure that that frequency is not too overwhelming in the rumble, because the kick needs to occupy that space. Now when I bring the kick also on top of this, and now if I go back to the rumble and just disable this, see, you can already hear they're fighting for space, and it's also given me a lot of headroom doing this. See, if I switch it off, my group is hitting around -4 dB. When I switch it back on, it clears the air a little bit there, and it's given me a couple of dB of headroom as well. Maybe I might even just make this a little wider. because see, you want sounds to occupy their own spaces and not fight for space, especially not in the low end. There's very little room there, so this is a crucial step in my eyes. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. I'm just going to get back into it now. But yeah, feel free to ask any more questions if you have any. Let me just take a quick look. Is this better than just doing sidechaining with a kick? Yes, of course it is, because sidechaining just controls the clash in terms of volume, but this is an additional step I'm doing just so the frequencies don't clash with each other. There's another really cool plugin called Track Spacer that can do frequency-based sidechaining, and there's a free alternative for it as well. I'm just forgetting the name of that free alternate, but look into Track Spacer. It's really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna just play everything from the arrangement now. Let's do some side chaining on the ride. I'll do it in another way. This is something I've been messing with lately, using a step sequencer to control volume. So let me solo the ride. I'll just make it 4 steps, okay? And I'm gonna give it a pattern like this. And let's map the steps to control the volume here. And I'll just increase the minimum amount a bit. See, this gives me some groove as well on the ride. Might have to increase the volume a little bit, overall volume of the ride. So let's do that from here. I'm also gonna just tame this LFO, opening the filter. It's opening up a bit much, so I'm just gonna close it down a bit, because I want more of a steady tone from this. Yeah, that's more like it. On the square, maybe I want to also add a pitch envelope. That's not working. Also going to try something a little different on this. There's this really cool Max for Live device called Slink Filter. I put this down on the square. So this is a very unique type of filter. Not going to be able to explain what it's doing, because I myself don't know much about what it's doing, but I really like the tones that it can generate. It's got a little LFO here, and it kind of sweeps through the bands, the spectrum. So let's take a listen to on and off. This is off, back on. Like that. the thing is, when I open up the filter, the slink filter also keeps the sound moving. If I open up the filter here on wavetable, the sound is still moving with the slink filter. Otherwise, it kind of became static when I opened it earlier. And I'm also a bit concerned that this sound is a little busy. So I'm just going to make a copy of it and try and just use a single note maybe. Let's see. Okay, so the busyness is coming actually from, not from the notes, but it's actually from the LFO controlling the filters. So I'm just going to try and tame this. Yeah, much better. Okay, I want a clap groove like that as well. So I've just put it down in the 909 open hat MIDI clip right now, but I'm just gonna remove it now because I've already made a copy of the 909 open hat track, and here I'm gonna remove in the clap track that I've just renamed. I'll remove the open hat here. So we have them in two separate channels now. Okay, the square wave is a little busy still. That's also because we have this LFO thingy also running quite continuously. So, and also the track is not going to start like this, and this LFO thingy is just for building a little more tension in the track. So I can keep that switched off right now and we can just work with the square. Yes. Also not liking the clap groove. That is happening right where the square wave is. So I'm just going to move that ahead. Okay, it's time to process our drum sounds a bit. Starting with the 909 open hat. We'll come back to using the open hat and clap in just a bit. Seems a little too busy for me right now. Now let's get the LFO thingy to actually respond correctly to the square. So let's see where it could work. Yeah, I think once a bar should be good for this. Something like that. Let's add a little more volume to the square. Maybe I'll also overdrive it a bit. Oh, that's a bit much. And I'll also just put it down before shaper box so the sound of the sidechain doesn't get overdriven. So the order in which you place effects, it matters a lot in case you're wondering about it. So it's important to just experiment and figure out where this could work better for you in the chain. So maybe the overdrive works better before the filter. Let's also just do some side chaining on the ride. Although I've just done this thing earlier, but a little side chain won't hurt, just to get it more tighter in the mix. Cool. In case you have any questions, I'm just gonna take another quick break here. Okay, I don't see any questions, but I hope you're enjoying the stream. See, maybe I could even just make a little more space for sound, and let's see if we can do this. Yes, that's way better. I've just again removed every alternate hit of the square, giving us more space there for the LFO. Yeah, this is really good. I want to build some effects with the synths. Let's get ourselves an audio track, and I want to basically record a return track where I have a grain delay. Just gonna go and randomize the grain delay now while it's recording. I need to find a better placement for the open hats. Let's figure that out. No, that. The thing is, everything will work better musically if there's a nice call and response happening between elements. That's always something I'm looking for in any music. After all, music is a kind of a conversation. Yeah. See, that sounds so much better. Now the clap could just happen every now and then, maybe at the end of 8 bars, every 8 bar, like this, maybe something like this. Let's see. Yeah. And the 909 open hat does not need that delay, so I've just dropped that idea. But it does need some reverb, so I'm just gonna, let's use a built-in reverb. Let's use the hybrid reverb, quite a nice one. Gonna add some pre-delay here, blend it more towards the algorithm. Yeah, that's good. Just drop the stereo width a little bit. Let's do some overdrive on this and some drum bass. Some overdrive on the kick wouldn't hurt either. I'm actually taking a look at my kick on the mini meters display, but unfortunately you won't be able to see it. But yeah, anyway, let's do some overdrive on the kick. So I'm gonna be really careful with the drivette because it's important that we don't use too much of this in the mix. Drop the drive a little bit. See, I just want a little extra knock from this. That's all I'm looking for. That kind of does the job already. But that's increased the volume of the kick quite a bit, so let's just balance that out with a rumble. Yeah, much better. Even the open hat, I'm thinking now, can be a little less frequent. So maybe let's take off every other one. Better. This is exactly what creating space in a track means. I want a little attack on the open hat. It's a bit too clicky. Okay, I am pretty happy with the loop so far. Let me know if you have any questions. Just check the chat again. Okay, thank you, Jim. Thanks for tuning in again. It's great to have you here week after week. Yeah. Okay. So this is my raw process, what you're looking at right now, and this is pretty much how it goes for all my tracks. I end up with starting with doing too much, and then just back it off bit by bit until it just feels right. Yeah, deconstructing is the word here. Can you explain that part again where you mentioned about creating space in the track? How do you approach that other than just the EQing stuff? So, like I just now did, creating space in the track means to not repeat certain elements as frequently as you were repeating them earlier. And having a good call and response just between two sounds is more than enough to drive the entire track, especially in this style, of course. But there are other styles where you need more sounds to call and respond with each other. But here, just two synth leads and maybe some kind of modulation on one of them or both of them when needed, that can kind of offset the repetitive nature of these sounds. So I'm going to also now try and get a pad in here. For the pad, I'm going to use Diva. Just put down some notes first. So we are on G, scale of G. Okay, so I want the pad to create some tension. Now, an easy way to create tension in any with any pad is to put notes quite close together like this. Okay, I'll show you the difference once we find the right sound. So let's open up Diva, and I'm gonna go for maybe a dream synth preset from Diva. Let's see. See, I don't want anything that sounds cheesy, and that sounded cheesy to me, the first one. Yeah, that's a good pad. I'm going to record this into audio. Before I do that, I just want to show you the difference of adding one note versus another note right below it or above it. See, this is the one note. This is the second note. Perhaps it's not even needed, so let's check it in the mix. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Just adding another note, just to see if it works. I like it in this octave. Let's go here. Yeah. So now I want to finalize this sound. So I'm going to just bounce this to a new track. Live 12 has this new feature now where you can just right click on any MIDI track and just say bounce to new track, or bounce in place. Very much like freeze, but it just takes away that extra step of flattening the track. Okay, so now you'll see why I froze this or bounced it into a new track, because now I'm going to loop this, okay, at a portion where I'm going to find a loop where it just sounds right with the rest of the elements. I like that. this is what we have. If I need some movement on this, I can always just add a filter and tone shape it as well, which I'm going to do. Keep it somewhat like this, perhaps. And I'm going to send it into a reverb as well, just so we can get a nice tail when I open and close the filter. I'll also try maybe pitching it down an octave. Switch over to texture mode when I do that. Yeah, that's more like it. Yes, sounds pretty good. Going to try and add a little more groove in the low end. So let's do that with a DS kick. This is a really fun device that's basically a synthesizer for kicks. I'm going to try and get this into a groove that sort of complements what we have going on. See, it's going to sound like a kick right now, but that's not what I want. What I want for this is for it to sound more like a tom. Like that. Let's just tune this, right? See, that's a nice, neat little tom, without having to use any samples, and I can tune it as well. So just maybe some overdrive. Yeah, that's good. So listen to it now, with and without. I was just trying if it works a little higher, but no. Yeah, I think I'll leave the click on as well. So these two buttons, this one is basically going to reset the phase of this every note, so it sounds the exact same each time. So if you don't want that, you can keep it off if you want some variations with every note. But if you want every note to hit the same, then put this on. And the click just adds a little click at the beginning. And they're both independent, so they can be switched on and off separately. Okay, I am also going to just clean up these clips. Okay, so let's just consolidate this clip and loop it. And so now I can just kind of extend it over like that. Same for the LFO thingy as well. Oops. Yeah. Here we go. We could start getting into the arrangement now, because there's quite a lot of sounds in here that can definitely be worked with for the entire track. Any questions? Just put them in the chat while I do this. Okay, will this be online to watch later? Perhaps, perhaps not. But yeah, while you're here, just try and enjoy this. Feel free to ask any questions related to what I've covered so far. So I'll just do a quick recap for if you're joining us just now, or just as a general way to just recap things as well. So we started out with the kick and used a bunch of processing on it, and this is the kick that I always go to for my low ends, the kick 9091, which is the built-in 909 kick, one of the built-in 909 kicks, going through some saturator, drum bus for some shaping, and overdrive just to give it a little more body, and this EQ that really cleaned up the kick. See, let's take a listen with and without, just so we can hear what they're all doing. This is the raw kick. It's not a bad kick, but I just like this better. Now all of them together, on and off. Oh, and I also tuned the kick, going into the controls and detuning the kick because it wasn't hitting exactly where it needs to hit. So detuning took care of that, and I've also added some release on the kick because we need a little tail on the kick just so it doesn't end abruptly. See, this would be the kick ending abruptly. Oh, it could work. Okay, so let's check that as well. So I'll just solo the low end. It's a bit too short now. It's good to review these decisions because then you're going to get to the sound that you absolutely want. You're going to get closer to it at least. Okay, then I made a copy of the kick and I threw in the same processing there and some reverb, the convolution reverb. Just a quick explanation of what a convolution reverb is compared to a normal reverb. A normal reverb is known as what is called an algorithmic reverb. Basically, it's code that's sort of emulating a room and giving you a reverb with code, right? The code is basically a bunch of delays. That's how reverbs, digital reverbs are built, with a bunch of series of delays. But here, the convolution reverb, it actually uses a recording from a real space, and that recording is usually just a really bright noise firing, as you can see here, in that space, in that room, or in a hall, or in this case, it's some place called Arundel Nave. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but there's a whole bunch of different folders here, and these are all recordings from different places. Like, for example, you can see there's an NYC Sports Center recording, so recordings from some cathedrals and some churches. So this recording that they get in a room or in a space, that sort of captures the essence of that space and later can be used as an impulse response. This is called an impulse response, what you're seeing here, the waveform. And that impulse response can turn into a reverb with the help of this. It's basically like a decoding device for a type of recording that converts that recording into a reverb on a sound. And I believe on the hybrid reverb, which has both convolution and algorithm, you can drag and drop samples onto its window here, and say you drop a chord sample. Let's try that out eventually. That sample can turn into some sort of weird reverb as well. So that's the rumble, just going through some reverb, some side chaining, some EQ, some more EQ just to cut off any low end in the sides, which makes the sound mono. And then we got these toms later on. I'm gonna have to EQ the toms a bit because sounding a bit too bright to me. Okay, so let's get an EQ in there. Yeah, that's good. And then the drums. I started with these noise hats. Really simple pattern, 16th notes, no velocity changes at all because I need it to be a constant, at a constant energy. And it's really, the work is being done here by the amp envelope. See, if I reset the amp envelope, it sounds like this. That doesn't really count towards being a hi-hat in any way. So it's really short attack, short decay, and a little bit of sustain just so it has a bit of backing. And the release won't really matter in this case because these notes are super short anyway. I mean, they are full and there's no space for release there. And I don't want it to sort of have a release if I stop it like this and then, I don't want a tail. So that's the reason why I didn't go for any release there. And just some drum bass and this LFO that's kind of modulating the decay. I am going to EQ this, but let me just use EQ8 so you can see what I'm doing. Just going to cut a lot of the lows and mids and do something like this. Yeah, nice, clean. So I'm going to have to do this for other sounds as well. Let's do it for this hi-hat. I'll change it to a less steeper curve, 12 dB per octave. So that's what this means. If you ever wondered what this means, the into 4 is a 48 dB per octave slow. It cuts a lot more. You can see it becomes steeper when I change it to that. This is a little bit more of a mellow cut. It doesn't cut too much. Just going to add some of these frequencies as well. Raise the mids a bit and raise these highs also a little bit. Okay, those highs are a bit sharp, so just dial that back. I think I also want to saturate this. Let's try some roar on this. Really like using roar in multi-band mode, but let's try it in single band mode right now. Whoa, too loud. So I'll bring the output down before I do these changes. Yeah, that's nice. See, soften the sound a bit. Let's take a listen to a before and after. See, kind of adds a nice body to the sound. Yeah, I think I'll use roar in single band mode this time. It's pretty good. Now, in terms of arranging this, fairly simple. I'm just going to make copies of this 32 bar loop across till however long I want the track to be. In this case, I'll keep it under 6 minutes because these tracks are all usually around that time frame. I'll just come back into the chat now and see if you have any questions. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any questions. Are you guys not enjoying the stream, or do you not really have a bunch of questions? What's going on here? Thank you all for tuning in, though, whoever is here with us right now. I do hope you're enjoying what you're seeing here. Okay, I assume there's no more questions. Let's get on with this. So we've managed to get quite a bit done in about an hour's work. Now it's just really a matter of finding the sound that could be used to start the track off with. Yeah, that's good. Um, I could also just have a filter on this, so I can just control the way this starts off. I'm thinking maybe we could just add some crackle as well. Just grab a little crackle loop and just place it in there. That's all I'm going to do, really. This is kind of my go-to crackle loop. Well, let's put this really low in volume because it's not something I want the listener to pick up on as a sound. It just kind of needs to be there as a texture. I'll just put this through some flat line just to get, like, bring out those really low sounds. I think I used this in the last stream as well. It's just another version of OTT. So this crackle texture is going to go on throughout the track. Let's also just do some group processing now. So on the low end group, I'm just going to get a glue compressor. Bring the threshold down, slow attack, quick release. But I don't really want the compressor to react too much to the lows. So I'm just going to enable the sidechain filter here, which is essentially a filter that, see, it's called the sidechain filter, but it's a pre-compressor filter, which can help you to tell the compressor to ignore certain frequencies from being compressed, or rather just not compress those frequencies too much. So now that I've set it here, it's on a low cut mode, as you can see, 110 hertz. Everything below that doesn't get as compressed as if this were to be off. You can probably hear the difference. Let's just take a look at the volume difference now. Minus 7.5 versus minus 10. So that's 1.5 dB. I'm just going to add that back in. Oh, wait, that's actually 2.5 dB. My bad. Math is not mathing. Yeah. So again, this is something essential, which is gain staging. If you're doing a process that increases or decreases the volume of a sound, just make sure that you compensate for it within that device. So this is the sound without the compressor. This is the sound with it. It's, to me, to my ears, it's just a bit tighter, and that's always good. I'll also bring the ratio down to 2 because I don't want this to be very heavily compressed. Okay, yeah. Obviously, that's way too much. So let's focus on the arrangement, but let's see if there's no more questions. Okay, great. Okay, we'll just take a little break and come back to the stream. just a quick 5-minute break. Okay, I'm back here. You start bringing in the noise hats from here. I'm going to throw on a limiter on the master, so just be ready to just decrease your volume if you need to. Yeah. build a little bare bones structure of the track now. Build more tension in the track, I'm gonna be making some breaks like this. And in that break, I'm gonna open or close the sounds a bit. Okay, I need the sound to open up a little bit more, and it's the filter that I've added over here that's not letting it open up more. Let's open that up as well. Probably bring in the ride over here. This close hat. I'm also thinking maybe we can just have the closed hats on a 16th pattern like this. And I'm going to use the 808 core kit and an 808 hat to just give us that off hat which can carry the track forward like this. Let's add some reverb on that. subdue this LFO thingy a little bit more. Yeah. Because if I keep these sounds open at this point, then we're not going to have much to build to later. So that's the reason why I'm subduing these sounds. Crackle is a bit too loud still. And I also need a bit of hiss along with the crackle. So let's find a tape hiss. Yeah, that's good. It looks like it has nothing here, but there's actually sound in here. See, now if I switch this off, you can actually hear what it's doing. And it's so low in volume that you're probably not going to notice it on the first listen of the track. Let's throw on a limiter on the low end. I need some reverb on this, on the noise hats. Yeah, something like that. I'm going to keep this section in loop and start finding some incidental sounds. So I want to do like some shakers maybe. I already have a whole bunch of shakers I've recorded, but I'm just going to record some fresh ones from this plugin called Skaka. Really cool plugin for shakers. Just going to do something like this. Okay, so I'm going to bounce this into audio now. And just loop and just use parts of it that I really like. I like this part for sure, just to even have as a loop. No, not this one. I think it was... yeah, this one. I'm going to make a copy of this shaker loop, and now I'm going to use this to kind of find some incidental sounds. What I mean by that is just take like one or two shakers here and there, just send them into a big reverb and that kind of stuff. When I think big reverbs, this is always my go-to, the Valhalla Shimmer. Really nice reverb. See, the whole idea is now just to get some small hits every now and then, like this. So I can sort of use that now to my advantage. Like, just see. one more in here. So these incidental shakers, now you probably understand why I was calling them incidental sounds, right? Because they're just happening every now and then, and the space between is being filled up by a large reverb in this case. And it's a nice way to like lead into a new sound starting off. And now I can just loop this. Now I'm going to have to find a new place for this open hat because that's also happening right on top of the shaker, as you can see here. Let's just throw it maybe a beat ahead. Let's see. Yeah. Let's get a bigger reverb on the open hat as well. Just probably going to use the same reverb that I have on the shakers. Not even using it where the shaker is because it's already got a big reverb. Let's put it down like this. It's too soon for the ride. Ride can come in here. Those of you who are here in the stream, let me know if you have any more questions. Okay, great. I'm here and I can see some questions. How you make some sci-fi pad on top of this like Oscar Mulero. Okay, yeah, we can look into that. What is providing the automation on the auto filter for the wavetable, lead or bass? Sorry, how you make on top of this ambient sci-fi pads or textures? There's a lot of ways to do sci-fi pads and textures. One way is to just record the sounds that you want from synths and then process them in granulator or sampler or just use it directly as an audio loop. I already have a pad in here, just hadn't got a chance to bring it in here. So let's bring it in a bit sooner in the mix. Probably add some flatline before. that works pretty well for the pad, but it's a bit too intense in the low end. So let's just take care of that. Yeah, just use the EQ8 instead. There's this weird little click that I'm hearing on the pad. Let's fix that. So I've just added a fade on the clips themselves, and I also enabled the fade here. So that takes care of the click, right? So if you're facing any such issues with sounds making clicks, this is the way to fix it. This is one way to fix it. Another way is to just draw in some automation yourself, but you don't really need to do that. See, I can also just build a little extra tension before these new sounds come in by sending my existing sounds into delays. Pad's coming in too strong here, so we need to find a way to just smoothly bring it in. Okay, even these recorded effects that I have, we need to bring them in smoothly because it's just kind of appearing out of nowhere. Just keep it switched off for now. I think I want to do some modulation on the closed hats with some expression control, some random modulation on the decay. Let's see if this works. Yeah, certainly does. And I want to EQ this a little bit better. And drive it a bit with some overdrive. Let's push the pad back up an octave where it was and see if that works better. So I like do these experiments. We could also have a couple of copies of the pad, one being an octave lower like it was earlier. And I'm now going to group the pads into one single channel and move this entire processing over to the group and delete it from the other pad. So this is going to glue the sounds together as well. Now we have the best of both worlds. And I'm also going to send the group into the reverb now instead of the individual tracks. I just want to listen to the track right from the beginning again, and also for those of you who are just joining us on the stream, you'll get a chance to just hear this from the start. And while I play this, I'll come back into the chat and see if you have any more questions. And we have about 20 minutes left in the stream, so if you actually have any questions, please feel free to ask them now. Nicola. Coleman, I will answer your question about the what is providing the automation on the filter. Just confirm to me if this is the sound you're talking about, the square thing. If you're still here in the chat, just let me know if that's the sound you're talking about. Modulation is happening within Wavetable. As you can see, there's an envelope, couple of envelopes controlling both the filters and LFOs. That's what is providing the movement, and along with the sling filter on the outside here. Process this a little bit, give it some drive on auto filter. Yeah, and let's compress this as well, because now after adding some drive, it's got a bit loud. Yeah, that should be good. like to do when I'm making my own instruments and stuff is this is an easy way to just remember what to automate to just uh, get the sounds to evolve. So this is what I do. I just group the device and start mapping the things that I was changing that made the most sense into macro controls. Whole world of movement now I can build with these. Coming back to the arrangement, yeah, the ride has gone on for quite some time here, so I'm just gonna take a little break from it. And let's do our main break as well here. Yeah, this is exactly where we're going to do the break from 113 to 129. Maybe that's a bit too long. Yeah, let's start the break there. And at the break is when I can bring in these effects. Try some slink filter on this also. In case you didn't realize what this is basically a recording of the grain delay return track that I created earlier. Coming back to creating the break, I keep getting distracted by finding new things to do, but yeah, we need to just get this break done as well now. So I thought after the break there was quite a lot of things that came in. So let's be careful about what we bring in there, because we also need to develop the sections afterwards, right? So I'll not bring in the shaker loop there. Yeah. Just finding the right tuning for the ride. Yeah, that's good. So I need to do some automations to get this sound to move. But I want to just clean up the sound as well a bit. Perhaps we can start bringing this pad down right here. Now we really need some movement on the square though, because I haven't done much automation on it except open up the auto filter on the outside of the synth, I mean. Yeah, but we have just another 5 minutes to go. I am here on the chat. Deepak, not so sure if we will have this video, but yeah, I mean it's a live stream that will be there on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it later as well. Those of you that asked me earlier as well, yes, you can watch it. We'll just leave this as is on our channel, so you can watch it at your own pace. Shubham, wouldn't it be good if people writing comments here can actually change the music coming from Ableton Live? adding some elements like changing the shaker to 16 notes. Yeah, sure. So there's another way we can do that. There's a software called Muse, which we can use to collaborate live. Look into that. The website is musesessions.co. That's a good idea what you have, but it's just not executable here in this format. Okay, cool. Let's give the track a listen again. I'll just work on the outro in the meantime. I probably want to change which part of the shakers are playing here. So let's just find another one. Yeah, I like that better. And in case you're wondering how I did that, if you just hold down Option and Shift on top of a MIDI clip, you can actually scrub inside the MIDI clip and find other parts that you like. Yeah, actually that other part sounded even better. And I'm pretty sure you can do this with MIDI as well. Just hold down Option and Shift and just scrub. Yeah, I'm liking this better. I feel like the track is pretty much done. Just another round of some automations by hand, just going into some sends, the square, the leads and stuff going into sends, and just building a little more tension wherever necessary. And that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any final round of questions, now is the best time because I'm about to shut the stream down. And yeah, if you're still here, this is something we just started last Sunday, calling it Straight from the Source. This is our second edition. The first one happened last Sunday, and this is a weekly live stream that we're going to keep doing. So tune in again next Sunday and all the Sundays thereafter. There might be some Sundays where we can't do it because we're traveling. So those weeks we will inform you way before. Just follow us on our Instagram for the updates on all of this. Coleman, my favorite plugin. That's a really tough one to answer because I do have a bunch of favorites. So let me show you. Yeah, so these are some of my favorite ones that I use quite a lot of. But if I had to pick one that I can't really live without, then it's definitely the Valhalla Shimmer. It just sounds so good. In terms of synths, I mean, there's so much we can just get done with the built-in synths, as you can see here with Wavetable. But BCB Rack, definitely something that is irreplaceable for me personally. Any more questions? We are going to shut the stream down. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah, next week we can look into doing a VCB Rack stream for sure. And yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here and supporting our channel. Do tune in next week as well. It's 4:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time every Sunday, unless we specifically tell you that it's on another day. Follow us on our Instagram to get all the updates. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thanks, Coleman. Thanks for being here, and see you all very, very soon. Okay, bye-bye. Take care. Have a great week.